Hey everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video, we'll be going through a quick unboxing of the Heretic Circle, which is the Necron, Cryptic and Retinue kill team, for kill team, within the Warhammer 40,000 setting. Just going through the quick unboxings of some of my kill team boxes, because once this is done, I can start basically getting stuff off the plastic, which I think is pretty much the important part. And plus, with the recent announcement of a new kill team starter box, I'm going to say starter box, but don't quote me on that one, featuring Deathwatch and another Necron kill team. I thought I'd grab this one just in case it goes the way of the Dodo. Just in case. Anyway, front of the box of the Heretic Circle. So we'll have 8 miniatures included with this one, which we'll see on the back, but otherwise just pretty much a nice shot of the actual included models. In fact, do we see all 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we only see 7. Or is there an actual 8th one right there, and just because of the terrain? That actually could be the 8th one. But anyway, we'll find out on the back. So that's pretty much the front of the box. In terms of the back, a better run through of the actual included models. So we have the Plasmacyte Reanimator, 1, 2, 3 Death Marks, Plasmacyte Accelerator, an Immortal Despotek, a Apprentic, and a Technomancer. Some of these names are really weird. Yeah, definitely an interesting array of models. I know when I did the Chaos Space Marine Legionnaires, I was suggesting and hinting I was going to try for some backwards compatibility. When I say backwards compatibility, I mean actually use the models within a normal 40k army, not just exclusive to kill team. I don't know if I'll be able to do the same with these ones. I'd have to check on some of the individual rules, because I feel that a lot of these, the Immortal is probably a good example, would be part of a unit, not necessarily as a single unit, and things like that. But time will tell. The one thing I'm interested in, because it's interesting that I've actually started deciding on my actual Necron theme, these Necrons may very well be in the type of flat dark black I'm looking for, because I'm trying to go a bit of a Star Trek Borg theme. So obviously it's going to be pretty black with their external components, but I've noticed some of their black here is pretty much aligned to that, and that's partly because of the Deathwatch Necron kill team set that I mentioned earlier, because of the walls. And I know in previous video, I believe I did say the walls really gave me that Borg alcove feel, and that's basically what's been the thought process for the color scheme. Now obviously that's the main body. Things like the shoulder pads where there's actual difference in color, I haven't really factored that in yet. Time will tell what I do with that. But I didn't want to go the traditional metallic route for the main body. So yes, this actually could be a step in the right direction. Anyway, that's enough of the box done and a bit of a thought process on what I want to do with my Necrons. Let's have a look at the Heretic Circle sprues and manual. Okay, and jumping straight into the manual for the Heretic Circle. So here's a rough breakdown on the contents. So there'll be a single 50mm base, 5 32s and 2 25s. So I'm assuming these two runners here pretty much the... goes to show how much I remember things. Technomancer, and then everything else will be for the other units, with the exception of these being for the Plasmacytes. Obviously, building of the various models. So what do we have here? We have the Cryptic. Oh, the Technomancer is probably what I'm trying to get to. So he has his own, or it has its own array of instructions of putting everything together. It does look very, very cool. And then here we have the Apprentic, the Death Marks, the Immortal Despotek. Also have some Guardian variations, so the Immortal will basically have some different variants as to how you can equip it, which is very cool. So obviously from this kill team there'll probably be some spare parts. The Apprentice, which seems to be pretty much a single straightforward build. The death marks probably appear to be the same as well, although it does look like there could be some variants of the legs, which honestly may be shared across some of the other models like the Immortal. The Immortal Despotec, and putting that together. In fact, okay, so we have a reference to B4 here. What are these legs? Okay, so the legs may very well be a bit of a universal shared leg, so there may not be too many spare parts. Some different torso variants, and then obviously weapon variations to consider. Actually, we've got a decent few pages about weapon variation. Be interesting. Necrons being Necrons. I don't know how well you can go about the magnetization process because of the size of the arms, so very well may be a case of you'll just have to stick with a particular defined configuration. And then lastly, the plasma sight, reanimator and accelerator, and then the full squad. And that's pretty much it. Citadel color, everything all together. As I said, that black for the most part is pretty much aligned to what I'm after. So just need to figure out what I'll do with some of these other parts, accents, etc. So that was pretty much the build instructions for the Heretic Circle. Now before getting into the runners, we do get this nice little inclusion of the tokens. So that being too violent and accidentally pushing them through. So that's one side of the tokens. And then there's the other side. So it's very cool that we get these. It is unfortunate that the data cards are separate. But there you go. So we get that nice little inclusion. Now, runners. So we have these two small runners, which I do believe is for the main Technomancer. Now Games Workshop being Games Workshop, everything is in grey, so won't worry too much about that. So that's pretty much one of the runners. And there's the other runner as well. It's kind of scary how these two small runners form a single character, and I'm sure at normal retail this character is probably worth $70 Australian. That is my guess. I'm probably right, but that's besides the point. We have this moderate sized runner as well, which I think will have bits of pretty much everyone else. It's part of the kill team. So Necrons being Necrons do have some very nice detailing. I like how we also have some extra little scenic inclusions to give the models a little bit more jazz. And lastly we have these two standard size runners. Start with this one. They're probably part of the same runner set. In fact, if I do this, yeah, so they would have been most likely pretty much part of the exact same mold. But obviously these two runners combined will pretty much have the Immortal, the death marks, and things like that. In fact, you can see some of the difference in weapons. So if we just go back to looking at a single runner, so we've got a lot of the torso options, the lower body options, but we can also see some of the weapon options as well. So that is that. That was one of those two runners. In fact, what are these? Head options. So it does look like there will be some spare parts, but don't necessarily expect to create entire models from them necessarily. And this is the other runner, which appears to be predominantly weapons with a bit of torsos and things like that. So definitely very cool that we have all of these. Weapons do look very nice and detailed. Painting them should be very fun indeed. Oh, and obviously before I forget, so we do get the, I think these were the 32s. They'll be in a bag, they will not be loose. We'll get the 50mm pretty much loose in the box, and then we do get the two, or they 25s, these will be loose as well. So just be careful when opening the box that you don't accidentally flay things around. Okay, so that pretty much brings us to the end of the unboxing of the Heretic Circle kill team. Definitely looking forward to doing some kill team stuff. In fact, I mean, kill team might not even been too bad to start off with because it's the smaller number of models. and I know someone I work with has been trying to perfect some just some casual play rules, leveraging both Kill Team and Warcry to make it a little bit more intuitive. So at some point in time I will definitely want a Kill Team ready for that. But yeah, that's definitely a future project. I don't know if it will be a Necromon, I don't know if it will be Chaos in a Emperor's Children theme. Probably be that, but time will tell. But I do have some Kill Team options throughout, which I'll go through in the upcoming weeks. Anyway, leaving it there. Thank you very much for watching the video. Feel free to do the usual like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. It does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. And obviously just helps me just continue to grow some of my 40k base. There'll be extra stuff on my Instagram, so definitely keep an eye out on that if you're so inclined. Otherwise, I am trying to build up the community post as well. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you all in a future video, whether it's 40k or something else on the channel.